Let's talk about the Trump leaks with my favorite cultist, Brother Tatum.
Donald Trump gets on the phone with leadership in Georgia and they leaked the phone call. They recorded him and they leaked it. And it's totally fine. There's nothing to see there. There's nothing to see. A confidential phone call with the President of the United States. All right.
It's so interesting that Brother Tatum cares about the confidentiality of a phone call, especially when the president decides to tweet about that confidential phone call before the leak.
Though I think those arguments, not only are they made in bad faith, but here they don't hold water, because on the morning that the tape was released, President Trump tweeted out, "I spoke to Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger yesterday about Fulton County and voter fraud in Georgia. He was unwilling or unable to answer questions such as the ballots under the table scam, ballot destruction, out-of-state voters, dead voters, and more. He has no clue." To which Raffensperger responded,
"There was no agreement, and we didn't know what the purpose of the call really was. We assumed it was about the November election, and really Wednesday. If President Trump wouldn't have tweeted out anything and would have stayed silent, we would have stayed silent as well."
All President Trump said in this call was, "Get on your stuff."
Yeah, I'm going to call BS because maybe, just maybe, the Republican leadership and the Republican people might want to get on this stuff because, all that talk about affidavits, about evidence, about this, about that, a lot of it has been BS. So maybe get on your stuff first before you start, casting the first stone.
So am I correct in saying you solicited affidavits, you received some you could prove were false, and you set those aside? The ones that you couldn't prove are false, you have submitted to the court.
Correct. They were submitted under penalty of perjury.
But the affidavits that you yourself found to be false were also submitted under penalty of perjury, right?
Correct. Improperly.
The fact that your process for obtaining these affidavits yielded affidavits that you yourself found to be false does not support a finding that this process generates reliable evidence.
There is clear issues in this election. There is video and evidence that people cannot unsee. How about you do something about it? You guys are doing nothing.
Oh, Brother Tatum, you're absolutely right, man. Why didn't these Republican, Georgianian bastards ever look into the situation in hand? Why have they not looked into the... Oh, wait a minute.
Well, Mr. President, the challenge that you have is the data you have is wrong. We talked to the congressmen, and they were surprised, but I guess there was a person named Mr. Raynard that came to these meetings and presented data. And he said that there was dead people, I believe it was upward of 5,000. The actual number were two people that were dead that voted. I don't believe that you're really questioning the Dominion machines, because we did a hand retally, a 100% retally of all the ballots, and compared that to what the machine said, and it came up with virtually the same result. Then we did the recount, we got virtually the same result. So I guess we could probably take that off the table. I don't think there's an issue about that.
And we got
President, this is Ryan. We're looking into every one of those things that you mentioned.
Okay,
and our
that's
investigators,
good.
I know,
But if
I
you
know
find
you're
them, you got to say it, Ryan. Look,
And
if they're,
we are.
let me ask you, Ryan, if they're destroying
let me
ballots.
tell you what we are seeing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
What we're seeing is not at all what you're describing.
Okay.
And these are investigators from our office. These are investigators from GBI, and they're looking and they're good, and that's not what they're seeing. And we'll keep looking.
And what it does is it makes the Georgia politicians look horrible. They look horrible. It makes President Trump look like the only person in America who cares about this country, the only person in leadership who cares about this country, a president that's fighting for the people, that will get on a phone call and say, y'all need to get this right because people are mad.
Well, yeah, people would be mad. Why wouldn't they be mad? They are blindly following an individual and believing every little thing that comes out and believing everything that's being said simply because it fits nicely with their agenda. Yeah, but so what, man? Who am I, right? Just a national idiot. This has been a message from you, National Idiot. Have a good one and be safe, folks. And stay away from the White House. A bunch of Trump supporters are there trying to storm the front, trying to pretend that a second civil war. They should probably read a history book to see how that first one went.